Huge update rolling out from ChatGPT. Search GPT is here and it's rolling out across the US. You can see, for example, here is a conversation from Search GPT. More on that in a second. We're going to be looking at this because it could change everything when it comes to SEO. Bear in mind that this is a major threat to Google search and therefore a major threat to SEOs if you're not ready to adapt. Now, we'll also be looking at whether Search GPT is better than Perplexity and ChatGPT. I'll be comparing it side by side. We'll be looking at some ways that you can adapt, plus how this can change things when it comes to SEO. Now, if we look, for example, at this Search GPT response here, this is actually someone who's used Search GPT. Bear in mind, this is only being rolled out across the US right now. So you can actually see, for example, on Twitter, there's a flood of people beginning to see Search GPT directly inside ChatGPT. Here's an example of a recent report, and you can actually compare the two, right? So this is the older version of ChatGPT. This is kind of like the Search GPT method. For example, if we look at this response, you can see that ChatGPT is actually someone's typed in cyberpunk hacker robot images, and then it's come up with a bunch of images sourced from Pixabay along with the links directly to them. It's even, for example, embedded some YouTube videos directly, which we'll come on to in a second. I think that's very interesting for SEOs. And essentially, step by step, Search GPT is being rolled out across the US. You can also see an example right here. So you see how on this tweet, Parker is using the ChatGPT app, but it actually has this option to search the web directly inside ChatGPT. And then when they search, we can see a live example of it. So it says searching, and then it feeds in information directly into ChatGPT. Now, the interesting thing here is going to be whether people completely switch to starting to use ChatGPT. Bear in mind, for a lot of people out there who are already using ChatGPT, they tend to rely on that or Perplexity, which is another sort of AI search engine, over Google. And this could be absolutely massive for people watching because it's never been more important to figure out how you can rank directly inside these AI search engines. And if this gets rolled out more and more, then it's going to be interesting to see, okay, does Google lose market share as Search GPT and other search engines get more popular? Now, let's compare them side by side, right? So, for example, you can see here someone has searched the movie Her directly inside ChatGPT. We'll compare that side by side now versus Google. So let's open up Google on the right hand side and we can see which search engine you would be more likely to use. So we'll grab the same keyword, exactly the same keyword, Her movie, and we can compare the responses. Now, if I actually had to pick one, which one is better? I mean, when it comes to actual responses, I would say Google is still better, right? So, for example, if you compare these side by side, it's like you've got all the different reviews down here. You've got links to YouTube, links to the picture, links to Netflix, and how to watch it. I would say that is actually still more useful than Search GPT. So, in this example, Google is still winning. Now, there's many cases where Google is not as effective. We'll come on to that in a minute. Now, what's also super interesting here is like, for example, if you compare what Google looks like versus what ChatGPT looks like, it's very, very similar, right? Like if you compare them both as a search engine, the UI itself is extremely similar, as you can see right here. Now, what I've noticed recently, and I don't know if this is a new feature or not, I wasn't sure if this is Search GPT or not, but what you can actually do is if you press forward slash, you can choose between picture, search, and reason, right? So, for example, if you select search, you've kind of got a version of Search GPT directly in here. It doesn't seem to have the same UI, but I actually asked it on two separate occasions, is this Search GPT? So, for example, here, you can see I actually took a screenshot of the search method and then said, is this Search GPT, is Search GPT the find on the web feature? It said yes. The find on the web feature in the screenshot is essentially what you're referring to. I also asked ChatGPT, like some people might say that Search GPT, are they BSing me? And it said no, they're not completely BSing. The term Search GPT is an informal nickname that some people use to describe an assistant that's Search GPT. So I'm not 100% convinced that's actually the official Search GPT feature. But the fact that this sort of stuff is being rolled out inside ChatGPT and the fact that it actually is being rolled out in the US is a sign that this is going to become more and more important for SEO, right? Now, you might be wondering, okay, when's this going to roll out for everyone? There's actually a really good article by Search Engine Land where they talk about how OpenAI will integrate Search GPT into ChatGPT before 2024 ends. Now, if we actually compare, say, the search feature of ChatGPT versus AI overviews, which is obviously Google's version of ChatGPT built directly into the search of Google. You can, if we type in a basic search, like for example, what is SEO, we can compare the AI overviews from Google versus ChatGPT. So this is using search in ChatGPT, and we compare them side by side. In terms of what's the most useful, the search results are very, very similar, right? So for example, it talks about the goal of SEO here, it talks about the goal of SEO here, right? It's funny that they actually use the same wording. Now, if we compared them side by side in terms of which one is going to get the most clicks, because that's what you want as a website owner, right? You're probably worried if about AI, whether you're still going to get clicks, etc. I would say that ChatGPT tends to only source the biggest brands, as you can see. So, for example, Search Engine Land, Ahrefs, SEMrush, Search Engine Land, SEMrush, etc. There's no small brands on that list. They're all light to websites, but the links are more obvious, right? So it's more obvious to click these with the sources than it is to click on Google's links where it's just like a tiny little icon that's kind of disguised with the background. It's quite, I don't think many people would click from here to the website directly because there's absolutely no need. Now, another rival to Search GPT and AI overviews is obviously Perplexity. And one of the interesting things that I've seen from, for example, Perplexity and also from ChatGPT and additionally from Google too, is that they all tend to source YouTube as one of their main examples, right? So let's say we type in a keyword like this directly into Perplexity. You can see the most obvious place to click is over here, right? And it's 3 different videos sourced from YouTube directly from my channel. Now, you can also see that directly inside ChatGPT here as well. So there's a link directly to a YouTube video that you can play. And basically all of these platforms, you can actually play directly from the interface as well, which is quite interesting because, like, for example, for a website, you have to click over there, you have to open up a new tab, not that great on mobile. When you're on any of these AI search engines, you can just go directly to the video and play it directly there. What that means is I would expect video to number one, rank more, number two, get more traffic from search engines, and number three, to be more referenced within AI search engines like these. And that's going to be a bit of a game changer because AI can write the content, right? This is basically like a blog post inside a search. You don't really need to click through to another website. Same with Search GPT and same with these other platforms. But most people, if they want to get something really useful with first-hand experience, the best place to go and do that is from a video, right? And so this is why I see video search being more and more popular. Same, for example, if you look at my channel, like a lot of the traffic comes from SEO. So if we take this video, for example, they've got 5K views. You can see on Ahrefs that 3,200 traffic because it ranks for so many keywords. Now, bear in mind, this was only created 3 days ago. So 72 hours ago it was created, and it's already ranking for a lot of keywords and generating a good amount of traffic from the US as well. Bear in mind that 78% of the traffic comes from the US, and that was incredibly easy. Plus, that type of content is probably going to convert better than a blog post. And so one of the biggest things to catch on to this, if you learn anything from this video, if you take anything away, is that video search is something you want to be thinking about seriously now. Because if you go onto Search GPT, there's absolutely no need to click through to a website, right? And even if you're looking for something informational like latest AI news testing catalog, you can see here that it just gives you the information straight off the bat directly in the search. And it basically writes a blog post within the search. Nobody needs to click anywhere. Even if it's a video, you can play that directly in there. You don't need to click on the video or go to YouTube or any sort of external platform. And so, like, a lot of these search engines are going to be keeping traffic within the platform. And so if you want to rank in them, video is one of the best ways to actually get a lot of traction for your brand direct. Additionally, it ranks super fast. So you can see, for example, this video I actually only just created today, but it's already ranking inside Perplexity directly. So it gets sourced super quickly. And what's also interesting about this is, for example, if we search best SEO training Birmingham, as you can see right here in the SERPs, it actually recommends the brands directly. This is the results from this are actually based on the blog post that I've created, and it's recommended the SEO Elite Circle as the best SEO training in Birmingham. Additionally, it's linked to 2 of my different videos. I think I referenced case studies related to that. If you do want to rank inside these, I don't think you're going to get a lot of traffic, but I do think you can get a lot of brand mentions, and that's probably the way forward because you don't necessarily need to get a click through to your website to get a sale. You just need to convince people inside AI search with mentioning you and getting that attention through blog posts that are ranking on the first page of Google or through YouTube videos that are ranking on the first page of Google to get the level of traction, to get more sales from SEO. That's the future of SEO. I'm using Perplexity here, but it's very, very similar to Search GPT in terms of how it's manipulated. And as you can see, even on OpenAI's website, they've said AI search is going to become one of the key ways that people navigate the internet. The more people use the ChatGPT app, the more Search GPT gets released, the more people are going to search with AI and not necessarily use Google directly. So, something very important to note there. We've talked about how it's going to change, what you can do about it, how you can rank directly inside these search engines, plus what Search GPT looks like so far and where it's rolling out, plus how it's actually going to be rolled out into ChatGPT directly before the end of 2024. It's really important to figure this out now because if you don't, you could get left behind. And because ChatGPT is being trained on previous data, it's really important to get onto this early so that you and your brand and your business are mentioned inside that data. So, thanks so much for watching. If you want to get a free one-to-one SEO strategy session that shows you how to get more traffic with AI, feel free to book that in. Links inside the comments description. On that free SEO strategy session, we will show you how to take websites from 0 to 145,000 business a month, generate thousands of dollars in sales. And on this free link building acceleration session, you guys see your domination plan, answer any questions you have, you learn link building strategies for your website, plus how to quickly outrank your competitors with link building. Feel free to book that in. Appreciate you watching.